Attention passionate Dallas, Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Dallas, COWBOYS FANS. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could shift the entire NFC East landscape. Rumors are swirling around a potential trade that could reshape the Dallas Cowboys' offense and their chances of bringing home another Lombardi trophy. And honestly, it's one of those scenarios that could make Cowboys Nation sit up and pay close attention. The buzz. Christian McCaffrey, the Swiss Army knife of the San Francisco 49ers, might be on his way to Dallas. Yeah, I know it sounds wild, but let's break down what's happening and what it could mean for us fans, the team, and the division as a whole. First, let's look at the situation with the 49ers. They've been struggling a bit this season, sitting at a disappointing 3-8 record. The defense, which used to be their calling card, is leaking points at an alarming rate, allowing around 27. 4 points per game. That's not what we're used to seeing from a team that's been so dominant in recent years. Plus, they're facing some serious cap space issues, with around $20 million available but also dealing with a mountain of injuries. For example, George Kittle suffered a rib injury in Week 6, and that's just adding to their roster woes. They're in a rebuild mode, especially on the offensive line, trying to protect their quarterback, Brock Purdy, after he hit a slump. Now, this potential trade, if it happens, would see the 49ers sending Christian McCaffrey to the Cowboys in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft. That's right, a future first-rounder. Why would San Francisco do that? Well, sources suggest they're prioritizing rebuilding their offensive line and shoring up their cap space to make a serious push for next year. McCaffrey, after all, is a game-changer. He's not just a running back. He's a versatile weapon, a true mismatch nightmare for defenses. And with the 49ers trying to stabilize, shipping out a player of McCaffrey's caliber might be seen as a strategic move to get younger, faster on their line and give themselves some breathing room financially. But for us Cowboys fans, this is huge. Christian McCaffrey would bring an immediate upgrade to our backfield, especially after the recent addition of Quinnen Williams on the interior defensive line. Pollard, our explosive running back, would get a perfect complement in McCaffrey. Think about the possibilities. With McCaffrey in Dallas, we're projecting a total yardage boost from around 900 yards to over 1,500. That's a significant jump. And it's not just about rushing. McCaffrey's ability to catch passes out of the backfield makes him a perfect fit for Dak Prescott's offense, increasing our offensive efficiency and making us more unpredictable. Now you might be wondering about the impact on our division rivals, especially considering the NFC East's history of fierce battles. The Cowboys have been hovering around a 5-5-1 record, fighting for consistency and trying to find that explosive spark on offense. Adding McCaffrey would be a game-changer. He's a player who can create mismatches all over the field, be it against linebackers, safeties, or even cornerbacks. His ability to break tackles and gain yards after contact is second to none, and that alone could help us dominate in red zone efficiency, pushing our scoring percentage from around 52% to over 74%. That's a massive boost in clutch situations, especially when you're trying to close out games against tough opponents like the Eagles or the Commanders. And speaking of the Eagles, well, this move could be a real statement for Dallas. They're already a formidable team, but adding a player like McCaffrey could elevate us to another level. It's about creating those matchup nightmares, having Pollard and McCaffrey sharing the backfield, forcing defenses to pick their poison. Plus, McCaffrey's presence will help alleviate some pressure on Dak Prescott, giving him more options and space to operate. And let's not forget, he's a proven performer in the playoffs, with a career average of 4.6 yards per carry, over 100 rushing yards, and more than 80 total touchdowns. That experience and versatility can be the difference between an average season and a deep postseason run. Now, let's talk about some of the tactical implications. The Cowboys have been looking to improve their run game, which has been solid but not explosive enough to consistently break defenses open. McCaffrey's addition would be like adding a turbo boost. His ability to catch passes out of the backfield and run between the tackles would add a new dimension to our offense. It's about balancing everything, keeping defenses honest, opening up lanes for Pollard and giving Dak more options when he drops back. Plus, with McCaffrey's knack for breaking tackles, over 450 broken tackles in his career, he can turn a small gain into a big play, a trait that we desperately need to become a more explosive offense. On the defensive side, the impact is just as important. The Cowboys have been solid but could use some help against the run. McCaffrey's presence on the field would force defenses to account for more threats, potentially reducing the number of defenders focused on stopping Pollard or other playmakers. Moreover, Dallas has been working on improving their third down conversions, which have dipped lately, and having a versatile back like McCaffrey can be a huge asset in those situations. His ability to make defenders miss and gain extra yards means more sustained drives, more points, and less time for opponents to control the game clock. But it's not just about the immediate on-field impact. This move signals a clear message from the Cowboys' front office. We're all in on competing now. They're not just building for the future, they want to contend right now. The NFC is wide open, and with the 49ers possibly looking to rebuild or retool, the window is there for us to seize. The potential odds of winning the NFC title could shift from plus 3,000 to plus 1,500 if this trade goes through, according to some betting markets. That kind of boost would reflect the impact McCaffrey could have on our Super Bowl chances, especially if paired with our already talented roster. And let's not forget the playoff implications. A player like McCaffrey, who has a clutch gene and the ability to produce big plays in critical moments, could be the X factor that pushes Dallas over the top. His performance in tight games is proven, and with the playoffs looming, having a weapon who can generate plus 0.35 EPA per clutch run, as he has in recent seasons, is invaluable. The NFC is competitive, but with McCaffrey in our backfield, our chances of making a deep run increase significantly. We're talking about a player who can change the narrative, who can turn a game around with a single play, and who can help us finally get back to the Super Bowl stage. Now the question is, will this trade actually happen? The Cowboys have been aggressive this season, adding players like Quinnen Williams to shore up our front, and it wouldn't be surprising if they're exploring every avenue to make us a true contender. The 49ers, on the other hand, might be caving to the pressures of their current struggles and cap issues. It's a complicated puzzle, but if they see McCaffrey leaving as the best way to rebuild and free up cap space, Dallas could be the lucky team to land one of the most versatile and dynamic offensive players in the league. In conclusion, fans, this could be one of the most exciting developments of the NFL season. Christian McCaffrey coming to Dallas isn't just a rumor, it's a potential game changer. It would elevate our offense, give Dak Prescott a new toy to play with, and help us finally punch through that playoff ceiling. The NFC East is already hectic, with everyone fighting for supremacy, but this move could tip the scales in our favor and set us up for a deep playoff run, maybe even a Super Bowl victory. It's a bold move, a statement of intent, and honestly, it's exactly what we need to get back to that promised land. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think McCaffrey would be the perfect piece to finally push us over the edge? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. The Cowboys are always in the mix, always chasing greatness, and with your passion fueling us, we're going to keep pushing until we see that star shining on the Super Bowl stage once more. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned and keep that Cowboys spirit alive. Let's go, Cowboys!